You've got to find a way to become the best you can be. The world needs it. You need it. Your God needs it. People try to tell me I can or can't do something, and I see how hollow they are. I see how they haven't created their higher self, how they haven't had to work on themselves to become. I see how they haven't been on the path. This is why confidence comes from experience. What you earn for yourself, no one can take from you. And I see how hollow they are inside. I feel compassion for them because that existence is so unwhole. It's so weak and superficial. And I just see them as echoes that I'm flying by, that I'm passing on the journey. You fear getting started because you feel the discipline and the pain of the process. However, as you experience progress, you're going to fall in love with the discipline and the pain of the process, because you're going to know that discipline and that pain is providence, and it literally makes you strong enough to fulfill your purpose. So you find that long before you're perfect, because that's unattainable, you fall in love with the thing that's the most validating and healthiest way to chase higher versions of yourself, the road of progress. It's a beautiful thing, and that's how it works. But you gotta have the balls to get started and get going. That's how you need to be. But in order to have that type of confidence, you've gotta earn it for yourself. You've gotta earn it by the grace of God. That's your task, is earning that self. If you're gonna be somebody, you gotta live in failure. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. You gotta become the alchemist of failure. Failure helps you recognize the areas that you need to evolve in. Fear becomes a target indicator. You know where to attack and where to fight because you're afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? All these different things, you need to be intimate with failure. You need to know your limitations. The inverse of that is you also know your capabilities. And that's when you find actual stinking confidence. This is the game, man. So in knowing your imperfections, knowing your weaknesses, you know your greatness. And it's a beautiful thing. Life will knock you down. It will punch you in the face. But you're only scared of that because you haven't been punched in the face. That's what I mean when I say glass jaw. You gotta realize you literally have to run towards failure. You have to sprint towards failure. The answer is in the failure. The obstacle is the path. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to keep on living your life at the edge of chaos and order. The chaos is what you don't know. The chaos is what you can't do. But the order is what you do know. The order is what you can do. And if you're a warrior, you're fighting to take more ground. You want to bring the light into the darkness. And the only way for you to do that is to keep fighting leaning into the darkness and the chaos of what you can't do. And as you continue fighting your way into that darkness, you further the light and the order, and your capabilities and abilities grow. And you transmute it all. You're transmuting your personal best into your better best. You're changing, you're transmuting the ignorance into knowledge, the chaos into order, the darkness into light. This is the alchemical process. This is the alchemy of the mind, the alchemy of life. This is the stuff I've been talking about, baby. This is what we gotta do. If we're strong, if we're smart, and if we're gonna even try to live lives that are worthy of the grace we've been given. Time for the next set. Let's find those limitations so we can better them. You can't take responsibility. Well, you can't change anything you can't take responsibility for. And you have to realize that becoming more mature and becoming stronger, it's so you can do more, but it's also so you can take responsibility for more. And as you take responsibility for more, you can change more. And this is in your own life, you know? And so that's what getting stronger is about. It's so you can take more responsibility, and you have to realize that failing is part of that growing stronger process. Running around here with a glass jaw, you know what I'm saying? Don't be running around here as that person that gets hit in the face by life once and boom, you shatter, you crumble. You know You know what I'm saying? You need your struggle credentials. You need your mettle to get tested. Don't be running around here trying to be somebody's knight in shining armor. You need your mettle to be tested. If you're shiny, if your armor's shiny, you ain't been to battle. You need the scars. You need the cuts. You need the scrapes. You need the bruises. You need the accuracy that comes from getting in the ring of creativity in life, where you realize nobody cares about your good ideas. Nobody cares about what you thought was gonna be so profound and was gonna work. You gotta learn how to become accurate at forming and shaping reality. That means when you become dynamic enough to really impact your world and utilizing the natural formulas of everything that's required for you to do what you came here to do, that's when your passion starts to matter. You lose friends on the journey and you lose people because they aren't on your same vibrational level. They don't have that same consciousness, so they can't relate to you. And what you are becomes kind of uncomfortable for a lot of people. But you find so much shelter and safety and productivity and love in the path. And then you find people who are also on that path. And you forge really strong relationships with other phoenixes and people that are transmuting their weaknesses into strength. Because birds of a feather flock together, and the rule of fives is you'll only rise as high as your 5 closest friends. And that's why I spend most of my time with audiobooks, you know what I'm saying? After a while, you know, you show up in the world and you are a beast. You know what I mean? You became that. You know, and people look at you and they're like, oh, well, you're just so arrogant and you're just so, it's like, no, I'm very well acquainted with my weaknesses because I do the work every single day to find those weaknesses and try to become better. I'm so aware of my flaws. But in that same art, I'm also, because of that discipline, aware of my capabilities. And I know who I am and what I'm capable of. And you have a real, actual, lack of no bravado, legitimate understanding. This is confidence. It's accurate understanding. Inaccurate ideas about yourself is arrogance, right? So you, by being acquainted with your weaknesses and knowing how pathetic you are and always working to be less pathetic, you become strong and you know what you are actually capable of, right? So this is the beauty of the journey. People who haven't been on the path, or just the little people, start projecting their insecurities on you by calling you things that you're not. It doesn't even touch you. Because you know who you are, because you've been building yourself. You've been earning respect with yourself. You've been earning yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when they come at you, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry that's... You gotta realize people can't treat you better than they treat themselves. You know what I'm saying? So 90% of the mean things people do to you, it has more to do with their relationship with themselves than it does actually have anything to do with you, you know, unless you cut them off on the way to work. And then even then it has to do with their emotional intelligence. So the beauty of this path is that you have a really healthy understanding of yourself. And from that understanding, as you become stronger, you can take more responsibility and you can do more with yourself. And this makes you feel better about yourself. And then you can give this strength to everyone else around you. Because once you have some results, people are going to misunderstand you. And I want to encourage you to have compassion for them and understand that they're just trying to comprehend you based on the tools that they have, the psychological tools that they have, and from their place in development, from their vibrational frequency, and from their reality. And in their reality, you have to be what they want you to be, because your success is a reflection of their inability and the tragedy of the decision that they probably made a while ago not to get on their own path. It's okay if you're afraid. We're all afraid in the beginning. Shoot, I'm afraid now. The things I have to do, the fights I've signed up for, I'm afraid. The difference is, though, your relationship with fear changes. And now it's hello, fear, my old friend. Thank you. I'm glad you're here because I know I'm on the path. So fear is now transformed from a negative thing into a target indicator. I know if I'm afraid, then I'm probably cooking with some tartar sauce up in it. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get after it. It's time to do what we do. I don't even perform as good if there's no fear involved. A path of getting mentally, emotionally, physically stronger. You realize there's very little to fear, especially after you've become a little bit of a stronger human, right? You realize there's nothing to fear except for inaccuracy, except for falling out of awareness of yourself and your limitations. There's nothing to fear but the lack of progress. When you come and you think about who you were or who you used to be, and you fall in love with that, and you give that too much credit, and you start thinking about how great you were, the thing you fear starts to come upon you because you lose your accuracy with regards to who you truly are in that moment, not who you used to be or who you want to be. When you stop getting that hat sweat, that's when you got to be worried, you know what I'm saying? But you realize that the only thing to fear is inaccuracy. The thing you need to fear is arrogance. You need to know who you are. Find yourself, create yourself every single day. Boom.